Okay, let's say you just bought a assembled Juki DDL-8700 from me. Now it's going to come like this. We've got the assembled table, we've got the machine box, and we've got the thread stand, right? So there's just a few things we have to do to get this machine fully up and running. We're going to go through that right now. All right, so we're opening up this box. Take out the excess cardboard. And inside we've got a box of goodies. All right. We've got our belt, gonna set that aside. More styrofoam. We've got our belt guard for the machine, and we've got the belt guard for the motor. Set that aside for now. What we're gonna do first is this bag. Okay, to begin with, there's only two things we're gonna do. This is what we call the umbrella. It basically just stops the oil from spilling through the hole. This is the knee lifter. This goes up when you push on that knee lifter, so leave that there. This is a magnet, and we put it over the drain screw right here. And what this does is it catches all the little metal shavings before it gets sucked up into the machine, so it just keeps the oil nice and clean and free of metal. At this point, we're also going to install the rest peg. This little plastic guy goes right in that hole there. You can push it down as much as you can, and if you want, you can use a mallet, get it all the way down. And when we push the machine back to rest, that's what it rests on. So now I'm just going to pull the machine right out of the box. Okay, the only thing we're going to do before we put the machine into the table, we're going to put the hinges on the machine. So there's two holes right in the back there. Can't miss them. Just put those in. And now we're ready to go. So I'm gonna lift the machine right into here, and all I'm gonna do is make sure that the two hinges are setting into their little like rubber place. All right. Good. Sometimes you have to lift it up and rotate it. Good, perfect. Alrighty, the machine's in. All right, now we're gonna take our little post, and we just put it right in there, and you just make sure it's nice and center here. And all you do now is you're just gonna tap that down with a mallet, get it nice and in there. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is attach the motor belt. So first we're just gonna tip the machine back onto the rest peg. So now we're gonna put the belt down into the hole, and we're gonna wrap it around the motor pulley right there. And then we're going to slip it over onto the machine hand wheel. And then we're just going to pull the machine right back up. Perfect. Now this should come with a good tension set, which it is. Okay, so now we've got to attach the belt guard onto the motor, and we've got the 3 screws that come usually right in it. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3 screw holes. So that means that you're just going to slide this over. Okay, take your screwdriver. It can be a little tricky to get it in there, but once you've got it, just tighten it up. And yeah, you can usually put it about midway. You know, there's a bit of sliding room where you can adjust this, but midway is usually good. And then just do the same for the other 2 screws. Okay, so now we're going to install the belt guard that goes over the hand wheel. First things first, you're going to take this big long screw, and it's got a nice big hole on the right side there, and you're just gonna, you can just finger twist it in. There we go. So now you can take the big hand wheel piece, and you're just gonna get it over the hand wheel, like so. Perfect. Now we've got a little screw cover here, so you can just take that off for the moment. There we go, perfect. So now there's 3 screws to get this in, and we've got a big one which goes on the left, and we've got another big one which goes in the top right, and then finally we've got this little guy which goes right in there. And then you can just put this little cover, snap it right back in there. We also have this additional piece here, which is pretty much just a little piece to cover this belt area. It doesn't serve like an actual sewing purpose. So we've got it here. I like to take this thing out. It never lines up properly anyways. And you know, what's really gonna go in here? So you can line it up like this, and you just wanna make sure that when you tilt the machine back, that it's not gonna, you know, make contact with this top piece. So I need to shift it forward a bit more so that it can clear over it. Good, perfect. Or maybe right there might be better. Perfect. So I know that that's a good spot, and it comes with 2 little screws. You can drill those down just right into there. Okay, so now we've got the thread stand, and it's super simple. You're just going to unscrew 1 washer, 1 rubber on the top, and in our hand we've got the other side of it. We're going to put this right in the hole. Perfect, nice like that. And we're just going to go to the underside of the table and just screw this underneath. So in the end, we've got our rubber and our washer. Underneath, we've got the rubber, the washer, and then this. Tighten that up with like an adjustable wrench. Good to go. Okay, so now we're going to take our magnetic LED light, put that on the back of the machine. You can adjust that however you want. And the cord plugs right into the back of the motor. Super convenient. All good to go. And if you want to keep everything neat, you can feed the power down through this hole in the table, then wrap it around to the back of the motor. So the very last thing that we need to do before you can start sewing with this motor is add the oil. So we've got this nice thing of Juki oil that comes with the machine. Now we're going to tip the head back to reveal the oil pan. Perfect. And so you'll notice we've got a low and a high. And before we do anything else, I like to just do a once-over cleaning of this. There's sometimes a coating from the factory, you know, so it doesn't rust in the warehouse. You can see there's some dirt there. You just want this to be as clean as possible before you put oil in. So I like to just go over it once with a dry paper towel. Just make sure that there's no more residue. Okay, good to go. So you'll notice that there's a low and a high indicator. Very simple. You're just going to open this oil up, and you're just going to do like an even pour all around the oil pan until you get, you know, between the low and the high. And that's pretty much it. And now the machine is totally ready to go. You're good to thread it up and start sewing. I hope this helped you.